removal techniques, it's way different than the old school kind of thing when the guys would go down into the mines with the hard hats and the lights on their heads. Now it really only takes about 24 men, to level a pretty huge mountain, and for just a few years worth of coal, and they can do it, just in several months right now. Not many jobs, but huge amounts of environmental impact. And over the course of the life of that mine, it is not uncommon that the county and the state that it's in will end up paying about $600 million. And that's what the environmental costs are, the public health costs, and all that kind of together. So, and also the air in the surrounding those areas is actually filled with the residue of the explosives and the coal that it gives you. And I remember being down there and having this really kind of bizarre little cough just by being down there for a few hours. So this was sort of representative of one of the mountains that you find in Appalachia. This is Judy's former home. A place that was leveled really over just a few months. Judy saw that landscape, the home, that really, all the hollows in it that nursed her families and, her grandchildren and her, her father and her father's father and all the folks that came before him too. She saw their water being poisoned and the coal companies just move on after the mountain, was emptied, of its bounty, leaving even more unemployment in its wake. But Judy also saw that there was amazing, difference in potential wind energy between an intact mountain and one that was reduced in elevation by over 2,000 feet. These are some of the beautiful numbers associated, if by chance that particular mountain, had been left up. Fortunately, there are others that are still there, but 70,000 homes, could be powered by that 328 megawatts worth of energy. If the proposal that she's interested in pushing is out there, and the county that she's in would yearly would have about $1.7 million for its lifetime. So just think about it. A few years of dirty energy and not many jobs, or centuries of clean energy with the potential for developing expertise and improvements, in efficiency based on those technical skills, and developing local knowledge about how to get the most out of our region's wind. She calculated those upfront costs and the payback over time, and it's a net plus on so many levels for the local, national, as well as the global economy. Mountaintop removal pays very little money, to the locals, and a lot of misery comes with it. The water's turned into goo. Most people are still unemployed, leading to most of the same social problems that unemployed inner city poor experience: drug and alcohol abuse, domestic abuse, teen pregnancy, and poor health. Judy and I totally related to each other, and it does seem kind of like not a particularly obvious alliance, considering, her hometown is literally called Whitesville. They're not vying for the title of the birthplace of hip-hop like mine is. And, but I have to tell you, when Judy and I met, it was like we met our lifelong sister. Like separated at birth. It was really, really bizarre. And, of course, we swapped T-shirts, and the back of my T-shirt that she gave me says, "Save the Endangered Hillbilly," which I wear proudly, I gotta tell you. And if a homegirl and a hillbilly can understand that this is where we need to go in terms of creating like a real future for where we are, I think anybody can understand that. But unfortunately, Judy was diagnosed several months ago with stage 3 lung cancer. And over the past couple weeks, it's moved to her brain and to her bones and throughout her body. And it's just bizarre that she's suffering from the same thing that she tried to protect her community from. And it's particularly hard for me right now because over the past 5 years, I've lost 4 amazing women in my life, all social justice activists, who on some level, way, shape, or form were kind of outdone by the work that they did. And it just kills me to realize that I'm going to add somebody else to that list. So, but Judy might not see it happen, what's going to happen, as a Coal River Mountain Wind project goes forward. But Judy left a business plan. And it is my hope that, that her legacy continues through that. But, you know, the three people that I just spoke about, they don't know each other. They're from different parts of the country, and, but they have so much in common. You know, they're all problem solvers. And they're just some of the many examples that I've been so privileged to see and meet and learn from and, you know, just be with over time. And I was lucky actually also to feature each and every one of them on my Corporation for Public Radio show called The Promised Land. It is available at thepromisedland.org and on your local station as well. But the reason why I love them so much is because they're these really practical visionaries. You know, it's not like totally Don Quixote. It's like, you know, they look at situations and they figure out, like, how is this going to change and make our local community, our country better. And, you know, they look at what are the demands that are right in front of them, help people and what their needs are: healthy schools, electricity, beauty products, and how is the money flowing, you know, in ways to meet those demands. Because when you think about it, if the cheapest solution involves reducing the number of jobs in order to meet those demands, you're left with unemployed people. And I have to tell you, and I think we all know, that these people are not cheap. You know, in fact, they make up what I like to refer to as, you know, America's most expensive citizens. These include generally impoverished people, you know, ex-cons that are coming back from the wars, traumatized vets that are returning from the Middle East, and it's so the Veterans Administration actually released this report a few months ago that said there's been a 6-fold increase in mental health pharmaceuticals since 2003. You know, by veterans, which means that number is going to go up as they start coming home. You know, it's a whole population that, you know, we need to embrace and support in each and every way. Now, they may not be the largest number of people, but they are our most expensive people in terms of what they go through. You know, whether it's in terms of self-medicating themselves, you know, through pharmaceuticals or other types of drugs and alcohol, or, you know, an increased likelihood of domestic abuse. You know, their kids statistically do worse in school, and we know what low educational attainment does for anybody. There is a much better chance that they're not taking care of their health as well. So all of these things add up. And so we need to figure out ways as they come, as people are in their communities, to support them in ways that allow them to really remain and gain dignity, you know, in themselves and in the community that they're in. Now, Andy and Judy and Brenda, you know, all understand how to productively channel dollars